All right, Nat,
Hello.
hello. Thank you for being here.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited.
I wanted to bring you on right from the beginning because you're relatively new to our community. You're new to New York life, and I'd love for you to share what's happened for you in your business since adding mindset. So, where you were before and what's happened, and also probably your personal life since you've had change there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'm a second prior. I'm coming up on my anniversary actually here in a couple of days. So I've been with New York Life since July of 2022, right? Yeah, 2 years ago. And I've always loved it. I've drank all the Kool-Aid. I am such a New York Life fan. It's crazy. And the problem is I never really felt like I was very good at it. Um, and I thought that comfort would come with time. And so like every job, it's kind of awkward for those first 3 months. And so I figured that after those first 3 months were past, that then I would feel good about it. And so I waited and I waited and I waited. And I never felt good about it. And so then I thought, oh, well, it's the education because there's so much to learn in this business, so much to learn. And it's like in my geo, we throw around the phrase drinking from a fire hose with all of our new people because that's what it is. Um, and so I just figured, I just need more education. I just need more training. And so I went and I got registered and I carry 4 professional licenses now or professional exams that I've passed at this point. And I thought for sure that once I was a registered rep and once I had my Series 6 that I would feel so much better and then the imposter syndrome would go away. And months passed and it just didn't. And so last year, November, this most recent November, um, like I was exhausted. I was working so hard. I was getting recognized every week for like top appointments and I was going to networking and table events like constantly and I was just exhausted. And I had a 1-year old at this point also. Imposter syndrome is huge, huge in this business. I'm sure everybody has it or has had it. And I just like I wasn't so last November I was not proactive. I had like no hope of being proactive at that point. I was like, well, this is it. Um and I just felt like something was missing and it was crazy. I went to one of the very first like around that time I think no, it wasn't even the first, but I went to your Hawaii mindset training
Mhm.
was the first Daniel Amos seminar that I went to. And it was much, I'm sure, much like this, very similar information because it's all repetitive. But um, I signed up for a meeting with my success ambassador, and she asked me what my goal was, like what I wanted. And I told her, it'd be really great if I could make $5,000 a month. That would be awesome. And she even was like, well, we work with a lot of New York Life. How do you feel about $10,000 a month? And that was just like, that number blew my mind. Like, no way. Like $10,000 a month, maybe eventually, but not now. Um, and she had me think about what that would mean for myself and my 1-year-old at the time and my husband and what we could do with that. And I just fell in love so much with the idea of being able to do that. So I made the incredibly illogical decision to spend my rent money to join the club. Not the club, but the Success Society that Danielle is talking about here. And the very first thing they have you do is you do the becoming modules. And it's basically like before you engage in the game changers, they want you to make sure that you understand like who you are and what you want, like really, really well before you get into the content. And in my first 2 weeks of just engaging in the becoming modules, um, I had my first 5-figure month with New York Life. So like the month I signed up, I made my first 5-figure month. And I had previously made like 100, 200, maybe $1,000 was like a really good month for me at this point. Um, so yeah, it was really insane. And I was nominated for Top Gun that month. And I committed to going counsel because I made my proactive in like less than a week of work. And so I decided that I wanted to go counsel. Um, and so I had a lot of ups and down months after that. You kind of fall off because when you do really well, then you get lazy, and and that's part of what we combat in this work also. But like it was really bad for me, and so April comes around, and I was oh, I forgot I'd been pregnant this whole time, by the way. So April comes around. That's kind of important. Um, so in November we found out I was pregnant. And so in April, yeah, in April, I was 8 months pregnant and laughably behind on my council goal. Just like way behind. Um, and on April 8th, I think it was, we did a special seminar for the eclipse. And I happened to be at my grandmother-in-law's timeshare at the time, so I had like manifested a free vacation. And so I did this seminar that was all about change and making decisions in a timeshare. So I felt like $1,000,000. It was crazy good. Um, and I recommitted to counsel. And in the last 6 weeks of counsel, so the last month and a half of counsel, I had my second child at the end of May. And I also had to take a time off to recover and to like actually have her. Um, and I was also preparing to move across the state at the time. I don't even know if I told you that, Danielle. Did you know that I was moving at the end of June? Yeah, so I was also moving, and I had to. It's like my lease was ending, like they needed me out, so I was also moving. And in the last 6 weeks of counsel, while all this was happening, I generated 47% of my total FYC and made counsel.
Way to go. Way to go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're seeing people go, oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. Let's acknowledge Natalie and her perseverance and really you becoming coachable on this material and taking a jump. Imagine if you wouldn't have said yes in November. Way to go.
I did not have the money for it.
Yeah,
Like it was way harder to say yes than it was to say no.
amazing.